Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters in transformation, let me begin with a truth that lives beyond time. You are not your circumstances. You are not your pain, your trauma, your past, or even your current reality. You are consciousness in motion, divine intelligence expressing itself through form. When you're in the middle of a battle, when life seems chaotic, uncertain, painful, it's easy to think you've been forgotten. But what if I told you that the battlefield you're walking through is not meant to break you? It's meant to awaken you. That the same energy that seems like resistance is actually the very friction needed to spark a blessing. You see, every thought you think, every emotion you feel is a signal. It's a frequency you emit. When you dwell in fear, anger, or victimhood, you're conditioning your body, your biology, to remain in survival. But God did not create you for survival. You were created for transformation. The key is this: when you change your internal state, your external world must follow. That's not just spiritual talk, it's physics. Your brain is not a record of the past, it's a map of your future. And when you begin to envision the blessing in the middle of your battle, your brain starts to rewire. Your heart begins to entrain. Your body becomes the instrument of a new reality. Let me be clear, this isn't about denying pain. This isn't about pretending everything is fine. No, this is about mastering your energy in the middle of the storm. Because when you align your thoughts with divine intelligence, when you emotionally rehearse gratitude before the blessing arrives, you collapse time, you shift timelines, you step into a future where the battle you thought would destroy you becomes the very catalyst that elevates you. Think of this: what if the obstacle isn't in the way? What if the obstacle is the way? What if God designed your deepest struggle not to punish you, but to position you, to shape your identity? To break the illusion of separation and bring you back to the awareness that you and the divine are not two. You're one. You are not waiting on a miracle. You are the miracle waiting to be activated. So I invite you, step into coherence. Breathe into the present moment. Shift your energy from fear to trust. Begin to feel what it would feel like if the blessing had already arrived. Because in that moment, your biology changes, your field expands, and heaven begins to move. God is not distant. God is not delayed. God is not uncertain. The intelligence that creates worlds lives within you, around you, and moves through you. And it is turning every setback into setup, every wound into wisdom, every battle into a blessing. You are not who you were, and where you're headed is beyond what you can see, but not beyond what you can believe. Your blessing is not on the way. Your blessing is already here. The question is, will you match it? You are not your circumstances. You are consciousness in motion. This single realization can begin to unravel the illusion that your current situation defines who you are. Circumstances are temporary, fleeting snapshots in the ever-moving film of your life. They may seem solid, permanent, even overwhelming, but they are not the totality of your existence. Beneath every external condition, there is a deeper reality: your awareness, your presence, your ability to observe, choose, and change. When we identify with our challenges, whether it's financial struggle, illness, betrayal, or fear, we collapse our identity into them. We begin to believe that what is happening around us is who we are. But you are not a collection of your problems. You are the one who observes them. You are the intelligence behind the thoughts, the space between the emotions, the presence that remains when everything else falls away. This awareness is not shaped by the past or limited by the present. It is fluid, dynamic, and capable of creating new outcomes. Modern science shows us that the brain is not hardwired, it is plastic. Your neurons, your chemistry, your biology, these are all influenced by what you repeatedly think and feel. So when you begin to shift your focus away from the external circumstance and into the inner truth of who you are, creative, connected, and infinite, you initiate a new pattern. Your mind begins to rewire itself toward possibility. You become less reactive, more deliberate. Your energy begins to rise. Circumstances may tell one story, but consciousness tells another. And when you tap into the deeper awareness of your own being, You access a power that is not dependent on what is, but on what can be. You are not your current experience. You are the one who can reshape it. Battles are not meant to break you, but to awaken you. What you perceive as struggle is often the pressure needed to initiate transformation. In the middle of a challenge, it's easy to ask, why is this happening to me? But the more empowering question is, what is this waking up within me? Every hardship carries a hidden invitation, an opportunity to rise above conditioned patterns, to shed limiting beliefs, and to access a deeper intelligence within. We are biologically wired to resist discomfort. Our nervous system is designed to detect threats and move us toward safety. But growth does not happen in safety. Growth happens when we are stretched, when we're called to think in new ways, to feel differently, to choose differently. The battle then becomes a sacred space, a container in which the old self dies and a new self begins to emerge. It's not about conquering something outside of you, but awakening something inside of you. When you're in a battle, your body floods with emotion, the mind races, fear, doubt, anger, all these states narrow your perception. But if you can become aware, if you can stay present and resist the urge to retreat into old narratives, you begin to see the purpose within the pain. This awareness shifts everything. What once felt like chaos begins to feel like recalibration. The challenge that seemed personal becomes a catalyst for collective evolution. You're no longer asking how to escape the storm. You're learning to navigate through it with clarity. The deeper the battle, the greater the call to wake up. Life does not bring struggle to destroy you. It brings it to sharpen you, to refine you, to return you to the core of your own divine power, where you remember who you truly are beneath the noise. Your thoughts and emotions emit a frequency that shapes your reality. Every idea you hold, every feeling you allow to settle in your body, sends a signal into the field of energy around you. This is not metaphor, this is measurable. The heart emits an electromagnetic field that extends beyond the body, and the brain's electrical activity changes based on your mental and emotional states. You are broadcasting your inner state into the quantum field, and that field responds. Most people wake up and immediately tune into the world around them. They check their phone, recall yesterday's problems, and feel the weight of their to-do list. In that moment, their past becomes their future. Their brain and body return to familiar patterns, and they begin to recreate the same life, day after day, without even realizing it. This is because the frequency they are emitting, through repeated thoughts of stress, fear, or lack, aligns with the very reality they say they want to change. But when you shift your internal environment, the frequency changes. A new thought, paired with an elevated emotion like gratitude or love, creates a new electromagnetic signature. That signal carries information that begins to interact with the quantum field of potential. You're no longer just reacting to life, you're signaling ahead of the event. You're becoming a deliberate creator, not just a passive observer. To change your life, you must change your signal. This is why mental rehearsal, meditation, and emotional regulation are not just practices. They are energetic recalibrations. They train the body to live in the future before it manifests, and in doing so, they align you with the outcomes you desire. When your inner frequency shifts, the outer conditions eventually follow, because reality mirrors the energy you consistently project. Survival mode limits you. Transformation requires inner alignment. When the brain and body are locked in survival, everything becomes about urgency, defense, and control. In this state, your system is flooded with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Your focus narrows, your breath shortens, and your awareness collapses into the immediate environment. This response was designed to help you escape danger, but many live in it chronically, reacting to daily life as though under constant threat. In survival, there's no space for creation. You're not thinking about growth, purpose, or potential. You're thinking about getting through the day, avoiding loss, managing risk. You're scanning the world for what could go wrong, and in doing so, you reinforce the very fear you hope to avoid. Over time, this state becomes a personality, a way of being that feels normal but keeps you disconnected from your higher self. Transformation begins the moment you step out of survival and into presence. Inner alignment means bringing your thoughts, emotions, and actions into coherence. It means you are no longer divided. Your mind is not racing one way while your body pulls another. Instead, you become centered, aware, and intentional. Your nervous system relaxes, your heart rhythm stabilizes, your brain shifts from high, beta survival waves into more coherent patterns that support insight and intuition. This alignment is the gateway to change. When you are no longer driven by fear, you begin to access creativity, clarity, and purpose. You become less reactive to the world and more responsive to the vision within you. Your body becomes a vessel for transformation rather than a container for stress. The energy you once used to survive is now available for evolution, for healing, for stepping into the version of you that already exists in the field of possibility. Changing your internal state changes your external world. Most people believe that if their outer conditions improve, then they will feel better inside. They think that if the relationship heals, the money arrives, or the illness disappears, then they will finally feel peace, joy, or freedom. But the truth is reversed. The outer world is a reflection of your inner world, not the cause of it. The energy you carry within becomes the blueprint for what you experience outside of you. Your thoughts and feelings generate patterns in your brain and chemistry in your body. These patterns become familiar, and your body begins to memorize them. You may say you want change, but if your inner state remains one of worry, doubt, or anger, you are broadcasting a signal of lack and limitation. That signal draws to you more of the same. You're not attracting what you want. You're attracting what you are consistently being. When you consciously change your internal environment, your entire electromagnetic signature shifts. You begin to think new thoughts, feel new emotions, and recondition your body to a different destiny. This doesn't require waiting for life to change. It requires you to generate elevated emotions like gratitude, love, or inspiration now, before the evidence appears. You become the cause, not the effect. In that space, you start to align with outcomes that match your new state of being. The brain no longer fires in the same ways. The heart enters coherence. The body begins to believe it's already living in the new future, and the quantum field responds to that signal. The shift inside you begins to organize matter around you. Life starts reflecting not what you desire occasionally, but what you consistently embody from the inside out. Gratitude before the blessing activates future potential. Most people wait for something good to happen before they feel grateful. They receive the job offer, the healing, the breakthrough, and then they respond emotionally. But if you only feel elevated emotions in reaction to external events, you are living as a victim of your environment. True transformation occurs when you learn to generate those feelings ahead of the experience. Gratitude is a powerful emotional signature. It signals to your body and the quantum field that the event you desire has already occurred. When you feel grateful in the absence of a reason, you're no longer looking for evidence. You're becoming the evidence. This begins to condition your nervous system into a new future, one where your body no longer memorizes the past, but becomes aligned with a reality that has yet to fully materialize. In this state, you are not begging for change. You are embodying it. Your heart opens, your energy expands, and your brain becomes more coherent. Gratitude engages both your emotional and cognitive systems, creating harmony between your mind and body. It shifts you from a state of wanting to a state of receiving. You begin to tune into the version of reality where the blessing already exists and invite it into your experience through resonance. When practiced consistently, gratitude becomes more than a feeling. It becomes a vibrational pattern that alters your destiny. The more you practice it, the more you trust in the unseen, and the more you anchor yourself in the belief that what you have asked for is already on its way. You are no longer waiting for life to prove itself to you. You are declaring through your energy that you are already connected to the outcome you seek. The obstacle is not in the way, it is the way. We are conditioned to see problems as detours, as things that block us from getting to our desired future. But what if the very thing you are trying to avoid is the exact thing designed to initiate your evolution? What if the challenge isn't keeping you from the path, but revealing it? Every obstacle contains within it a coded message, an opportunity to break a pattern, confront a belief, or awaken a dormant strength. When you face resistance, it means you are brushing up against the edge of your current identity. You're being invited to expand. Most people try to bypass difficulty, hoping to skip the uncomfortable parts of growth, but transformation never comes from ease. It comes when you're willing to move through what you once ran from. Your perception of an obstacle shapes how you experience it. If you see it as a threat, your body enters survival, and you begin to resist. But if you see it as a teacher, your mind opens, and you begin to grow. The obstacle doesn't change, you do. And as you change, you begin to extract meaning, direction, and clarity from what once felt like confusion and pain. In physics, pressure creates structure. In biology, stress creates adaptation. In life, obstacles create transformation. They push you to reassess what you believe, to make new decisions, to access inner strength that lies dormant when everything is comfortable. The obstacle becomes a catalyst, a spiritual assignment that prepares you to hold the very blessing you're asking for. Without it, you might arrive too soon, unprepared and unaware. With it, you arrive grounded, clear, and ready. The way forward often appears only after we embrace the thing we most want to avoid. You and the divine are not separate, you are one. From the moment we are born, we are taught to perceive the world through duality, self and other, God and human, spirit and matter. This conditioning creates a sense of separation, making it seem as though the divine exists somewhere outside of us, distant, unreachable, something to chase or earn. But the truth is far more profound. The same intelligence that orchestrates galaxies, governs the tides, and breathes life into every cell, is the same intelligence that animates your very being. You are not a bystander to divine energy. You are an expression of it. Every thought you think, every heartbeat, every breath is evidence of the divine moving through you. When you quiet the noise of the outer world and become still enough to listen, you can feel this connection. It is not found in striving or performing, but in presence, awareness, and surrender. The divine does not speak in thunderous commands. It whispers in intuition, in synchronicity, in the inner knowing that transcends logic. When you align with this truth, your entire relationship with life shifts. You stop asking for signs and start becoming the sign. You stop searching for guidance outside of you and begin to trust the wisdom that arises from within. This oneness is not conceptual. It is experiential. It's felt when you're fully in the moment, when your heart expands with love for no reason, when creativity flows effortlessly, when healing happens beyond explanation. To live from this awareness is to realize that you are never abandoned, never without support, and never disconnected. The veil of separation is only maintained by belief. When that belief dissolves, what remains is unity, power, and divine intelligence expressing itself through the uniqueness of who you are. You are the miracle waiting to be activated. Often, we look outward for signs of divine intervention, for extraordinary events to happen that will change our lives. We wait for miracles as if they are rare exceptions, sudden gifts from an outside source. But the greatest miracle is not something distant or external. It is the inherent power within you that has yet to be fully realized or expressed. This power resides in your consciousness, your ability to shift states, to reprogram your mind and body, and to access potentials beyond your current limitations. It is the capacity to create new neural pathways, to change emotional habits, and to embody new versions of yourself. Science and spirituality converge here, revealing that you are not fixed by your past or biology, but are constantly evolving beings capable of transformation. The miracle is not in waiting for life to change. It is in choosing to change from within. When you decide to elevate your thoughts, focus on new possibilities, and cultivate elevated emotions such as love, gratitude, and joy, you activate dormant potentials. Your body responds by producing new chemicals, your brain forms new connections, and your field emits a different energy. This internal activation sets in motion changes that ripple outward, influencing circumstances, relationships, and opportunities. Many people don't recognize this power because it requires intentional practice, patience, and courage. It asks you to step beyond familiar identities and the comfort of old patterns. But when you commit to becoming the source of your own transformation, you embody the miracle. You move from being a recipient of life's events to the creator of your experience. The activation of this miracle is the awakening to your true nature, limitless, creative, and whole. It is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process of choosing to live from your highest self, moment by moment. Your blessing already exists. Match its energy to receive it. Often, we imagine blessings as distant goals, something we must wait for or work toward relentlessly. We see them as events that will arrive in the future, contingent on certain conditions being met. But this perspective keeps us trapped in a cycle of waiting and wanting, disconnected from the truth that blessings are not outside of you. They are already present in the energetic field of potential, waiting for you to align with them. The moment you begin to embody the feeling, the vibration of having received your blessing, you are no longer in opposition to it. You are in resonance with it. Your thoughts, emotions, and physiology start to reflect the reality of that blessing as if it already exists. This coherence creates a powerful magnetic field that draws the external manifestation closer. The quantum field responds not to your hopes or desires, but to your vibrational match. Most people delay experiencing joy, gratitude, or peace until they see evidence in the outside world. They say, "I will be happy when," or "I will feel peace when," but true mastery is in feeling those states now, before the circumstances change. This shifts your biology and opens pathways for your brain to anticipate and organize new outcomes. The body becomes the instrument through which the blessing can flow into your life. Matching the energy of your blessing means training yourself to live in the end result now, to rehearse the experience emotionally and mentally. It means surrendering resistance, doubt, and impatience, and instead holding a steady, unwavering belief that what you desire is not coming, but already here on an invisible level. When your internal frequency aligns with the blessing, the external world has no choice but to follow, bringing you into harmony with the reality you have chosen to live in.